With Prequelle, the moment Ghost became something bigger than just a metal band. When it came out in 2018, it felt like a big step forward. It was more polished, more theatrical, and full of huge, catchy songs. Some fans loved the new directions, others weren't so sure, but one thing was clear: Prequelle changed the game for Ghost. In this video, we'll take a closer look at why this album was such a bold move. We'll talk about the music, the themes, the new frontman, and of course, I'll show you my vinyl. Let's dive into Prequelle and talk about what makes it so ambitious. For Prequelle, Ghost was already building something big. Their first album, Opus Anonymous or Opus Eponymous, came out in 2010. It introduced the world to their mix of heavy metal, creepy church-like melodies, and old-school rock vibes. It had this raw vintage sound, almost like something from the 70s, but with a darker edge. Songs like Ritual made an impact and gave Ghost a cult-like following right away. Then came Infestus Unanum. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. That was out in 2013. The band took a step forward, a bigger production, a more theatrical sound. It wasn't just heavy anymore. There were choirs, organs, some pop influences. It showed Ghost wasn't afraid to experiment, and this also includes their live staple called Year Zero. By 2015, Ghost released Meliora. This was when they really broke through. The album was more focused, more powerful, and full of standout tracks like Cerise, and From the Pinnacle to the Pit. It won a Grammy and brought the band into the spotlight. Up to this point, Ghost had built a strong image around the mysterious figure Papa Emeritus. Each album had a new Papa, and each one added to the band's strange, religious-inspired story. The music was dark and catchy, and the look was unforgettable. There were robes, masks, and a lot of mystery. So when Prequelle was announced, fans were excited, but also curious. What would they do next? How far would they go? The answer would surprise a lot of people. When Ghost returned in 2018, things looked different. Instead of a new Papa Emeritus, they introduced a new character, Cardinal Copia. He didn't wear the usual skull face paint or pope robes. He looked more like a sneaky church figure from a horror movie. He had the slick back hair and gloves and a suit. Some fans were shocked. But was this really the new frontman? Was this the new Papa? Behind the scenes, it was still Tobias Forge, the man behind the previous Papas. It was just a new chapter in the Ghost story. He was a younger, less powerful character who would have to earn his place. This change wasn't just for fun. It matched the direction of Prequelle. The album was still heavy. It was also more fun, more melodic. It had a cleaner pop rock feel in parts. The character of Cardinal Copia fit in that shift. He wasn't as serious or intimidating. He had energy and personality. Live shows also reflected this change. Copia danced, joked, and moved around more than the other Papas did. It brought a new kind of charm to the band, and slowly many fans began to accept and even love the new look. By taking a risk and changing their image, Ghost showed that they weren't just sticking to one formula. They were evolving, and Prequelle was going to be something bold, theatrical, and totally different from what came before. When Prequelle dropped, it was clear Ghost had changed their sound in a big way. The album still had metal influences, but it leaned more towards arena rock, classic rock, and even pop in some spots. Guitars were cleaner, choruses were bigger, and the songs felt that they were built for huge crowds. Take the opening track, Rats. It's loud, catchy, and over the top, but in a good way. Another great example is Dance Macabre. Probably the poppiest song Ghost had ever done up to that point, but it works. It's upbeat, fun, still feels like Ghost, just more sparkle. Even the slower songs like See the Light. Many a sin I have witnessed. And Pro Memoria have a dramatic and emotional feel. You could tell a lot of work went into the writing and production. There's also a strong use of keyboards. choirs, and layered effects that make the album sound huge. Some fans missed the heavier, darker sound from the earlier albums. Others saw Prequelle as a bold step forward. It showed that Ghost wasn't afraid to take risks and try something new. The album feels like a tribute to classic rock and metal, but with a modern twist. It's still Ghost, but bigger, cleaner, and more theatrical than ever before. Prequelle isn't just about catchy songs, it has a strong theme running through it. The album is filled with ideas about death, disease, and survival. A lot of songs were inspired by the Black Plague, which wiped out millions of people in the Middle Ages. You hear it right away in tracks like Faith, and To See the Light. Lyrics talk about fear, suffering, and the end of the world. It's dark stuff, but not just there for shock. Ghost uses these old ideas to talk about modern things, like how people deal with power, control, and fear. In Pro Memoria, there's a line that repeats, "Don't you forget about dying." It sounds creepy at first, but it's really a reminder that life is short. One of the main messages of the album, death is always around us. So what we do with the time we have. Then there is Life Eternal. The song closed the album in a more emotional way. It has deep questions about what comes after death and whether we would want to live forever if we could. It's a beautiful and haunting song that shows the softer side of Ghost. Even though Prequelle came out before the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people said it felt strangely ahead of its time. The themes of sickness, fear, and survival hit harder afterwards, part of what makes this album so powerful and timeless. Don't you forget that you will die. Let's take a look at the vinyl. On the cover you see Cardinal Copia sitting in a throne. It appears he has these big wings over here, and down here you see this big mouth. These are actually like rats. That's part of the whole concept. And at the bottom you see despair and suffering and some type of church over here. Then on the back, it looks like this dark medieval painting. It could be sections of artwork in a church with more dark images that go with the music. On the top, you see the track listing, and the vinyl comes with an insert with a photo of Cardinal Copia, and in the background, it's taken in some type of crypt or something like that. And the back features song lyrics and credits and lots of other information. Now, the vinyl, it's black and just comes with the normal sticker with the songs on it, and that's all. And let me know if you have this album, what variant you have, or if yours looks different or anything like that. So when Prequelle came out, it made a big splash. The album did well in the charts. It reached high positions in several countries, and it also earned Ghost their second Grammy nomination, showing they were gaining serious recognition beyond just metal fans. Fans had mixed feelings about the album. Some loved the new song, the bigger, cleaner production, and catchy songs. Tracks like Rats and Dance Macabre became fan favorites and staples in their live shows. Others missed the heavier, darker style of earlier albums and felt Prequelle was too polished or pop-oriented. But there's no denying that Prequelle helped Ghost reach a wider audience. Their shows grew bigger, filling large venues and festivals. The theatrical performances with Cardinal Copia added a new level of energy and fun that attracted more fans. The album also helped build the band's story and mythology. Cardinal Copia's character was just the beginning of a new era, which kept fans interested and eager for what would come next. Looking back, many see Prequelle as a turning point for the band. For Ghost, it was the moment they moved from a cult favorite to mainstream success. It wasn't just another album, it was a bold statement that showed Ghost was ready to evolve and grow. Whether you love it or not, Prequelle is one of Ghost's most important records. It changed the band's direction and set the stage for their future. I also did another video showing my Ghost vinyl collection, where I show that one and a couple others. It's more of a ranking video, and I do quicker reviews instead of the deep dive like I did today. So you can check that out. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss my future videos about vinyl and physical media and metal and rock and all that good stuff. And I will see you in the next one.